What's going on, everybody? K to the 2 here with the PPL Division 2 Season 3 Week 1 team analysis for our Harlem Gloomtrotters against OldManTup's Pittsburgh, to get under his skin, the Pittsburgh Pirattatas. Because, oh boy, I sure love getting under Tup's skin after, getting after his fear of people calling his team the wrong name. So yeah, we're going up against the Pirattatas. Yeah. Let's go ahead and talk about the his roster. He has Garchomp, Ferrothorn, Gyarados, Entei, Galvantula, Mega Medicham, Skuntank, Cresselia, Spinda, Articuno, and Raticate. Now, when I look at this team, there's a few things that I see when I look at it. He has very good checks to physical attackers. More specifically, contact physical attackers. Because he does have Rough Skin and Iron Barbs in his first two mons. He also has Gyarados, which can carry Intimidate. And then, of course, he has a fucking Cresselia. And, like, fuck Cresselia. Alright. I just needed to get that out. So he has those. Also, one more thing. Fuck Entei. Fuck it. God damn it. The last time I played an Entei, I got 6-0 by it. Now, albeit it was a year and a half ago that this happened, but I got 6-0 by a fucking Entei. And it wasn't even just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna send it out and kill all of your team all at once. No, it happened in 60 fucking turns that I couldn't get back. Other things on this team. First thing I want to point out, this is not the first thing. I've already pointed out like 2, 3, 5 things about his team. The hazard removal on his team is very poor. When I look at his team, I just think, you know what? I need to get rocks up. I need to break potential sashes. He has things like Gyarados, Entei, Galvantula, Articuno, all of which very nice to rack up some hazards damage against. Now, of course, I am going to... You can look at my team right now. I have these 6. I'm not bringing Spikes or T-Spikes this week because those are only on Ferrothorn. Or not Ferrothorn, Fortress on my team. I am bringing Rocks though. Because Rocks 100% break sashes on Galvantula. Wear down Gyarados, Entei, put them in range of things like T-Bolt, Earthquake, even at -1 from the guy, Lando T. So, Rocks are pretty much a priority. Looking at his team, the hazard removal he does have are on Defog on Skuntank, Rapid Spinda, and Defog Articuno, which if he has Defog on Articuno, that means he has to switch into he has to switch in, take 50% from Rocks, and defog them away, at which point my team has the potential to punish Articuno for doing said defog. So that is a thing that could happen. So let's go ahead and get right into his team. The first thing that I wanted on this team 100% was Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet is going to be able to handle basically everything on his team. He has very little momentum options, those being Galvantula and Articuno. Also Raticate, I'm not gonna count fucking Raticate. It's... Okay, now, let's get this out there. Raticate does have some potential to be good in the format. It has Guts, it's very weak even with Guts still. And also it gets Final Gambit, which is a cool niche move that it gets. Not many Pokemon get it. A lot of the Pokemon that do get it are better off doing other things, unless it's absolutely necessary. Raticate's a really good mon just to have with Final Gambit. Throw it out there, click it, it kills a mon. Because it's useless, completely fucking useless in any other situation. Having said that, I don't see him bringing it. Wobbuffet is going to help me deal with the likes of things that I don't have very many checks to, those being Entei. The only fire resist on my team that I have is Manaphy, albeit it's a really good one. Manaphy's really good for checking fire types. Also, Mega Medicham. Mega Medicham does get Baton Pass, but the amount of coverage that he would need would just out-prioritize the fact that he needs, or outweigh him wanting to bring Baton Pass. So I can easily just trap it. I can, like, if he sends it out turn 1, like most people do, to get off a Fake Out, to get off the free Mega Evolution, it's basically just like, well, he can't really do too much anyway. At the very worst, I Encore him into Fake Out, and then he's doing no damage on the following turns. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Wobbuffet now. Wobbuffet, counter Mirror Coat, Encore D-Bond with a Custap Berry. Custap Berry is very important. Custap Berry, Encore, or D-Bond can save me a game. 100% can save me this game. If he does end up setting up with something like Gyarados, if he has Bandit Entei that's locked into something like Sacred Fire, that could hurt my team. Against Mega Metacham, if I'm already low and have taken out a couple of threats, or a threat, with Wobbuffet, we can D-Bond, kill Mega Metacham. That's completely fine. The one thing that I feel like Wobbuffet could get stopped by is a potential Skuntank, as he can, like, Pursuit trap me after I'm low, after he's done damage to Wobbuffet. And let's also go ahead and talk about why I'm bringing Max HP, Max Defense Bold. A lot of the attackers on his team are physical. Those being Garchomp, Gyarados, Entei, Mega Metacham. And his special threats, like Galvantula and Cresselia, cannot Oko Wobbuffet. So I felt like it would be best if I just ran max physically defensive. Make sure that I can deal with not just one physical threat, but multiple physical threats if I need to. So that's basically Wobbuffet. It's literally just a Wobbuffet. Custap Berry, Encore, Custap Berry, Destiny Bond can save me a couple matches. Couple things. Let's go ahead and talk about our next thing. We have Choice Scarf Lando T. Of course, it has Intimidate. This EV spread, it was specific for level 50. All of these are specific for level 50 because we're playing on Wi-Fi. So that's why I have like 4 in defense and 4 in Spit F and 20 in HP instead of just 28 in HP, which is weird, I guess. 20 HP would be like an odd HP number. Let's just go ahead and make it level 50 to take a look. Yep, that is odd HP, so that's what I wanted. Otherwise, 28 would be 168. I'm rambling now. We have Scarf Rocks on Lando T. Now, this is really good. I can get it in against things like, I can get it in against something like Skuntank, something like, even Ferrothorn. We can trade rocks completely fine with me. My team does handle rocks being on my side of the field. His team, very, very weak to rocks, and it'll put a lot of his things in range for something like a Lando T's Earthquake. We are running Jolly this amount of speed to outspeed a Scarf Articuno, which, by the way, Scarf Articuno looks like a huge threat to my team. If it is Scarf, though, Wobbuffet can come in against it and do things and kill Articuno, basically. It can just kill Articuno, and then I can, like, save Lickilicky for later. So, Scarf Articuno is looking like a threat. Also, like, just, if he isn't a Scarf Articuno, he could, you know, switch up moves, and then Wobbuffet isn't that big of a threat. Okay, enough about Articuno, let's talk about Lando T. We have U-Turn, of course, pretty standard move on a Scarf Lando. This is like a really standard set just with Stealth Rocks on there. I feel like definitely a priority this game will be getting up rocks. So that's what we're going to try to do. Lando T is here, and it's gonna do things against this team. This U-Turn really hurts Cresselia. It'll allow me to get into one of my checks to Cresselia. One of them being Whimsicott, with Encore and Taunt. Of course, I'd want to drop a Toxic on Cresselia if I can. That is 100%, I feel, the best way to deal with Cresselia. I needed Encore and I needed Taunt this week. I know they sound kind of counterintuitive together. However, let me explain. Encore can help several situations. Gyarados, if he starts setting up Dragon Dances, I can switch Whimsicott right in. If Garchomp has already been eliminated, Whimsicott is 100% used for something like Mega Metacham, something like Gyarados. It does not need to worry about Garchomp anymore. This specific EV spread is in order to outspeed a max speed Jolly Garchomp. So then I can hit it with a Moonblast, or I can click Taunt. Now Taunt is here, it's very important. It helps deal with Ferrothorn, because Ferrothorn is possibly one of two things on his team that he could switch into Whimsicott. He has Ferrothorn and he has Entei. Early game, he would definitely want to try and get into Ferrothorn to get up rocks. If I already have my rocks up, then 100% I'm clicking Taunt on whatever comes in. As long as I'm in against Garchomp, if I'm in against Mega Metacham. Encore also helps against Mega Metacham, as I can switch it in on a Fake Out and take pretty much little to no damage. It's still gonna do damage. Don't get me wrong, but I can Encore him into Fake Out. That Encore is going to go before his Bullet Punch, if he has it, and he'll be locked into Encore. So then I can fire off a Moonblast, I can fire off a Toxic, I can double out and do whatever I want. So Encore and Taunt, both very useful this match. Toxic is there just for Cresselia, really. It's just there for Cresselia because I originally had Leech Seed on here. I even, when I sent the team to get Gend to Kelly, I had Leech Seed on here. I went and changed, 30 minutes before the match, I was like, you know what, I need Toxic. So I threw Toxic on there. Originally I had Leech Seed because I felt like overall the team was lacking a little bit of recovery. So I threw Leech Seed on there in order to get some recovery back if I was able to. Next up, we have a Nasty Plot Thunderous Therian. This thing is max speed timid. 100% will outspeed a Mega Metacham. Also, something very cool about this. If he is not running absolute max speed Garchomp, he won't be outspeeding this. Now, he could very well just be running a bulky Garchomp. A lot of people do. And I can 100% catch him trying to cheat on my Thunderous Therian. Knock it out with an HP Ice, and what else does he have for Thundy T? So looking at his team, his best checks to Thundy T are the combination of Fake Out from Mega Metacham, letting it go, and then a Banded E-Speed from Entei. He has Scarf Articuno with Freeze Dry. If he's not Scarf, he doesn't do anything because I kill it with Thunderbolt at +2, or even at +1 after Rocks. Even, I think, maybe plus, or just neutral without the Rocks, Thunderbolt will kill. I don't know, I'd have to look at the calc. Looking at it, at +2 after Rocks, 100% kills Entei. Galvantula on his team could be a thing that he takes on Thunderous Therian with. Originally on the team, I had a Weavile to potentially stop Galvantula. I decided to go Manaphy over Weavile. Mostly because I didn't expect him to bring webs against my team, because the two of the fastest things on my team are Thundy T and Lando T. And by fastest, I mean, they have the potential to run a good Choice Scarf set, and, webs don't do anything against them because they're both flying types. They're in the air. They can't be affected by webs. So I just didn't feel like he would bring Galvantula, and getting... That Weavile set was like a Fake Out, Icicle Crash, or Pursuit kind of set. It was cool, but it was I just felt like Manaphy would be better overall for the team. Thundy T just if he was like a Calm Mind Cresselia, I can outpace his setup with Nasty Plot and end up taking out Cresselia. ThunDT is pretty much that good. I have leftovers this week because I do feel like if I can switch into rocks and knock something out, that's basically two turns of Lefty's recovery to get me back up. Keep me out of range of things like E-Speed from Entei. Banded Entei, more specifically, after one Stealth Rock switch in. Because ThunDT is, it's kind of frail, and also, like, especially without leftovers. A lot of the time, like, with Life Orb, ThunDT does a lot of damage to itself, and I just don't want to deal with that. So I put lefties on here, keep myself in range, or out of range of his priority. That's the main thing. His team is pretty slow, as it is, and, yeah, that's going to be ThunDT. We have Incinerate for Ferrothorn. Incinerate is a base 60 fire move that gets rid of berries or gems. Ferrothorn at +2 dies. It just dies. I don't know how it works if they have an Aqua Berry, if the Aqua Berry pops, or if Incinerate gets rid of the berry and then does damage. I don't know. However, it's worth it for me to use it. HP Ice is, again, only for Garchomp, and then Thunderbolt hits pretty much the rest of his team. At +2, it knocks out everything on his team, bar a Cresselia. Really, that's the only thing that he has to really take a hit that my coverage doesn't already hit. So that's ThunDT for the week. It can be a pretty big win con as long as he doesn't have the reliable Scarfers, if he already has lost Garchomp. And then also, like, it wears down his team to the point where Manaphy can come in and do a lot of work. FizzDef this week with Rain, Rest, Scald, Calm Mind. Very standard set. Just against his team, overall I felt like it was the best option. Like I said, if he has if he doesn't have Galvantula, that's one less check to Manaphy that he has. With Calm Mind, I will be boosting my Spadef in order to live against Articuno's Freeze Dries. I can Rest, Rain Dance, continue to Calm Mind, and just set up all over Articuno. So, Articuno is not that big of a threat as soon as Manaphy gets to +1. At +6, everything on his team, or nothing on his team, can deal with Manaphy. There is the potential that Gyarados can start setting up Dragon Dances alongside Manaphy. Because I am max defense, it's not going to do too much damage, and there also is the chance that I can get the burn. I have reliable recovery. Gyarados does not. Manaphy just wins that 1v1. And the rest of his team, Mega Medicham, kind of a threat. Banded Entei does nothing. E-Speed, if he decides to knock something out with E-Speed, that's a free setup for Manaphy. Free setup. Garchomp does nothing to this. Ferrothorn with Power Whip, that's possibly the biggest threat. Possibly the biggest threat to Manaphy, believe it or not, because a banded Power Whip is around a 2-hit KO. If I'm able to get the burn with the Scald, get lucky, then that's how it goes. Other than that, Manaphy just does a lot of work, as, you know, it is one of the best, if not the best, Pokemon in Draft League format. So we're done talking about Manaphy. And now let's talk about my Articuno check. This is a Lickilicky. I've fallen in love with Lickilicky. Just looking at it, its stats are very nice. Wow. 110 HP, 95 in each defense makes it so useful on the defensive end. Also, it has insane coverage with 85 and 80 in attack, special attack. Very nice. Fire Blast, that's a 2-hit KO on any type of Ferrothorn. That's pretty cool. Flamethrower is not, but like Fire Blast, that's cool. As long as I don't miss, easy 2-hit KO against Ferrothorn. Witch Protect, Like I was saying earlier, the reason why I had Leech Seed on here was because I felt like I was lacking recovery. Wish, these are some pretty big wishes. Let's tone it down to level 50. 217. So what's half of 217? That's 109. 109, that's half of Manaphy's health. That's like 60 to 70% of Thundy's health. So like I can come in, take a hit even after rocks, and be right back up to full after a wish pass into Thundy. Lickilicky, amazing at wish passing for my particular team, especially with the threat of Wobbuffet there. Wobbuffet, like, it can receive wishes. It won't heal it too much because, of course, it does have this super high base HP stat. But it can, and it can take extra hits if I need it to. Now, Lickilicky has the potential to basically 1v1 his entire team as soon as Mega Metacham is gone. How so? Well, first of all, first part of that, he needs to not have Toxic on any of his mods. Because Toxic will end up wearing down Lickilicky. And second of all, Mega Metacham needs to not be there. So like I said earlier, Wobbuffet, great for Mega Metacham. Everything on my team, basically everything on my team outspeeds it except for Manaphy, which Manaphy doesn't want to 1v1 a Mega Metacham. If I get lucky, get the burn, it can happen, but like it's pretty hard to do it with Manaphy. But with rocks up, Dragon Tail, I can Dragon Tail his entire team around. Wish back up to full, Fire Blast for Ferrothorn, possibly get burns on shit, and then Lickilicky is looking fun. At that point, if he has one Mon remaining, basically, like, you know, I can't Dragon Tail it around, and I'd have to go into one of my setup things in order to win the game. So that would be that. Lickilicky really seals together this team, I feel. This team, my team overall, pretty weak to Articuno. Not even going to lie. Articuno does have some pretty niche coverage. Freeze Dry is a very, very cool move, and it's very, very underrated. It makes a lot of low tier ice types more than worth, or it makes them worth more than what they actually are. So they're cool mons. Other than that, that's basically the team. I have stuff for pretty much everything on his team, I feel like, and I am pretty confident going into week 1. We will see on Thursday, the 11th, how the match actually turns out. So watch out for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like down below. Leave a comment on what you expect Top to bring for this match. So go ahead, do that, and I will see you guys next time.